Hi everybody, Slippery Slope is here with the 12th Java tutorial. And with this one, we're going to go over if statements, which is essentially our precursor to doing loops. And things are going to kick up a notch just a little bit, bam, because once you get down if statements and once you get down loops, you can start doing some pretty cool things. So, let's begin. We're not going to import a scanner class, the scanner package, because we're not looking for user input right now. We're just going to use an if statement and run a really simple test and get some results. So before we test anything, we need to have something. I mean, something without anything is, okay, now I'm just confusing everybody and myself. What you want to do is you want to declare a variable, and we're going to use a really small whole number, so we're going to use a byte. And when you use a small data type, like a byte, that means that less space is taken up. And in a large program, when you use smaller data types like this, it can be helpful for that reason. In fact, a friend of mine was just working on a freelance video game thingy, and I can't really give details or otherwise I'd be in trouble because that's the way game design works a lot of the time is they make you sign agreements and you're not allowed to give away the juicy info. But he, instead of using doubles, was using a lot of floats and was converting to floats a lot. So, yeah. So let's declare a byte here that's about as small as you can get. That's not what she said. And we'll declare it the 3. This is STCs, and that's a little closer to STDs than I would like it to be. But that's going to stand for Star Trek Seasons, and we're going to initialize it to 3 because there are 3 seasons in the Star Trek original series. Well, now we have a variable, and let's add a comment so that someone looking at this can understand what we're doing here. We need to run our test. And our test is going to begin with the if keyword, which means, is it this thing? And should it be this thing? We're going to have this result. We're going to print out something on console. Now, does it have to be a printout like this? Absolutely not, but just for our purposes, it's a pretty convenient way of going about it. And before I even move on, notice there's no semicolon here. There's really no reason to put one there. Because, I mean, do you put a semicolon after a class header? No. Do you put a semicolon after a method header? No. Do you put a semicolon after an if statement? No, it's a different sort of structure. So we just have yet another squiggly bracket, and yeah. So this 2 double equal sign actually means equals, while this is your assignment operator when you're initializing the variable. This is just a test of equality. And if you wanted to test if it was not equal, you'd want to put an exclamation mark right there next to the equal sign, and that would say if STCs is not equal to 3. But we're going to test whether it's equal or not. I like my color scheme the way it is, Windows. And yeah, so we're going to say affirmative because in Star Trek verbiage that means correct. And we're going to use the else keyword, and you can probably figure out what that means. That means if this is not the case, then we're going to run this. So instead of it being, say, an if-then statement, it's an if-else statement. Else system.out.println negative, because in Star Trek, military talk, or whatever, negative would mean no. Now, remember, we have our squiggly brackets enclosing our class body, these enclosing our method body. This part of, let's just call it the if statement body, this part of it, and this part of, say, the else body is contained right here. So let's just run this and see what happens. As soon as this loads, fantastic. And what do we get? We get affirmative. It's correct. It ran. It checked. Does STCs equal 3? Well, yeah, it does. We initialized it to that. So, yeah, affirmative, correct. Well, what if we decided we're going to really irritate some Trekkies because we're just feeling like jerks today? And we're going to pretend that there are 5 seasons in the original Star Trek series. So they're now going to be like, oh my God, where did seasons 4 and 5 go? They're going to go looking for them, but they don't exist. And let's run this. Well, it's negative because that's not right. It's just like we want to see if STCs equals 3. Well, we initialized it to 5, so it's negative. How about we just run our not statement here, and we'll say, well, is it not equal to 3? Well, yeah, affirmative, correct. And be careful for logic errors because your coding may be right, but you might not have the correct answer in the real world, so to speak. Eclipse isn't going to catch on that, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So that's it for this one. We're going to get into some really cool stuff soon. I'm going to go over logic operators soon, and yeah, Slippery Slope signing out. If you like what you see here, feel free to subscribe. Peace.